Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Today's topic is lacrimal apparatus. So let's begin. The lacrimal apparatus can be roughly divided into two portions, the secretory portion and the drainage portion. The secretory portion consists of the lacrimal gland and accessory lacrimal gland of Krauss and Wolfrich. The drainage portion consists of the upper and lower puncta, the canaliculi, the lacrimal sac and the nasolacrimal duct. So now let's discuss about the lacrimal gland. The lacrimal gland is a almond shaped gland which is located in the superolateral aspect of the eye. It can be divided into a orbital part and a palpebral part. The lacrimal duct opens in the superolateral fornix of the eye through 10 to 12 lacrimal glands. The accessory lacrimal glands are the glands of Krauss, which are present in the palpebral conjunctiva between fornix and the edge of tarsus. There are 42 in upper fornix and 6 to 8 in lower fornix. The glands of Wolfrich are located in the upper border of superior tarsal plate and lower border of inferior tarsus. The point to be noted is mostly they are located on the temporal side. Now we can see the histology of the glands. The glands are basically serous acini, which are similar to salivary glands. They consist of acini, ducts, connective tissue and puncta. Now let's discuss about the blood supply of the lacrimal gland. The lacrimal gland is chiefly supplied by the lacrimal artery, which is the branch of the ophthalmic artery, and the nerve supply of the gland is given by the sensory supply is given by the lacrimal nerve, which is a branch of the ophthalmic division of the trigeminal nerve. The sympathetic supply is given by the carotid plexus, which comes from the cervical sympathetic chain, and the secretomotor supply comes from the lacrimal nerve from the superior salivary nucleus through the greater petrosal nerve. Okay, now let's go to the drainage portion. The drainage portion consists of the puncta, upper and lower, which are surrounded by a fibrous ring which keeps it patent. The lacrimal papilla is a slight elevation which keeps the puncta elevated. It may be largely elevated in elder persons. There are two lacrimal canaliculus, one upper and lower. The upper and lower both canaliculi are divided into a vertical part which is of 1 and 2 millimeter length and a horizontal part which is 6 to 8 millimeter length. They can both join to form a common canaliculus or they can separately merge into the lacrimal sac. The point to be noted is both the lacrimal canaliculi join at perpendicular angles. The lacrimal sac is located on the anterior part of the medial orbital wall in a location called lacrimal fossa. The lacrimal fossa is separated from the rest of the area by anterior lacrimal crest and the posterior lacrimal crest, and it is covered by a membrane called lacrimal fossa. The lacrimal sac can be divided into three parts. The fundus, which is located above the medial palpebral ligament, the body, which is below the medial palpebral ligament, and the neck, which is the portion where it becomes narrow. The lacrimal sac opens into the nasolacrimal duct, which goes downwards, backwards, and laterally into the inferior meatus, and it opens there. The nasolacrimal duct can be divided into two parts, the interosseous part and the intermeatal part, and it contains several valves. There are two valves located throughout the drainage portion. the valve of Rosenmuller, which is present between the common canaliculus and the lacrimal sac. It prevents reflux from the sac into the puncta. And the most important valve is the valve of Hasner, which prevents reflux from the nose into the nasolacrimal duct. It is present in the inferior meatus of the nose. Now we come to the histology. The histology of the canaliculi consists of the most internal layer is stratified squamous epithelium. Beyond that, there is corium, which is actually elastic tissue which makes the dilatation of the canaliculus possible. And the most outward portion is pars lacrivalis, which is actually the fibers of orbicularis oculi muscle. The sac and nasolacrimal duct consists of bilayered squamous epithelium in the innermost part. Then there is subepithelial lymphoid tissue, and beyond that there is fibroelastic tissue. At the most outer part there is a vessel plexus which acts like erectile tissue. Now we come to the blood supply of the drainage portion. The arterial supply is by the superior and inferior palpebral arteries, the angular artery, the infraorbital artery, and the nasal branches of sphenopalatine artery. The venous drainage is done by angular vein and infraorbital vein. The nerve supply is done by the intertrochlear and anterior superior alveolar nerves, which gives the sensory supply. The lymphatic drainage consists of submandibular and deep cervical glands.